My beloved child, come quietly now and draw your breath a little deeper, for I am inviting you into a stillness that is prepared only for you. Let the noise around you soften, just enough for your heart to hear what it has been longing for. I am not rushing you. I am not pushing you. I am simply opening a gentle space, a sanctuary woven between moments, where you may finally feel how deeply you are held. You have walked through many seasons without knowing how much of your strength came from places inside you I nurtured long before you understood their purpose. You have carried questions, hopes, unspoken aches, and hidden dreams. And tonight, my child, I draw near to whisper what your heart has been sensing. Something is shifting. Something is unfolding. And you are standing at the threshold of a revelation uniquely timed for this very moment of your life. Do not be afraid of what you feel rising within you. Do not shrink back from the opening light. You are ready to hear what once felt too heavy, too mysterious, too vast. I am guiding you into a message I have held in my own breath. Something never revealed to you in this way before. Something shaped by the path you have walked and the path you are about to enter. So be still now. Settle. Let yourself open. For I am here, and I am preparing your heart to receive the words you were always meant to hear. My precious one, listen with the fullness of your being, for the moment you have stepped into is unlike any you have encountered before. I speak to you now with a clarity shaped for this exact hour of your life. An hour that carries both tenderness and a quiet, sacred urgency. When I say, I hope you're ready for this, I am not questioning your strength. I am inviting you to recognize the expansion already happening within you, a stretching of your spirit that signals readiness, even if your mind has not yet caught up. There are things that can only be revealed when the heart has traveled far enough to understand them. You have reached such a place. Not because you have done everything perfectly, not because you have mastered every lesson, but because you have remained open through storms that could have hardened you, and you continued forward even when you felt you had nothing left to offer. This is why I speak now. This is why you are hearing me in this way. You are approaching a season where the unseen becomes clear, where the threads of your life that once seemed scattered and disconnected begin to form a pattern you can finally recognize. For so long you have wondered why things unfolded as they did, why certain doors remained closed, why others opened only to lead you into unfamiliar terrain. But my child, every step, every pause, every unexpected shift has been moving you toward a revelation designed specifically for you, something that could not be spoken earlier because it required the depth you now carry. When I say this has never been revealed before, it is not to startle you. It is to honor the uniqueness of this moment. You are not receiving recycled hope or repeated instructions. You are receiving insight shaped by your own journey, by the tears only I saw, by the resilience that grew in secret, by the longing that refused to fade. What is coming to you is not merely information. It is alignment. It is the opening of a door you have been pressing against without realizing how close it was to unlocking. You may feel a stirring right now, a warmth or a pull within you. That is the recognition of your spirit hearing truth before your mind fully interprets it. You may feel anticipation or even trembling. This is not fear, it is readiness. A readiness you did not know you possessed. You are being prepared not for burden, but for clarity, not for heaviness, but for emergence, not for confusion, but for a kind of understanding that brings peace gently yet undeniably. I speak to you this way because you are standing at a turning point, a hinge in your story, a moment where the weight of the past loosens its hold and the future begins to whisper possibilities you had almost stopped believing in. You are not imagining this shift. You are not exaggerating the feeling that something larger is unfolding. It is real, and I am guiding it. Do not think you must strive or struggle to grasp what I am revealing. Simply receive. Let the meaning unfold at the pace your heart can hold. I am with you in every breath of this revelation. I am guiding you into it, not as a distant voice, but as the one who has walked beside you since the beginning. So hear me again. I hope you're ready for this. Not because you might fail, but because you have grown into someone who can finally see what I have long been waiting to show you. Lean in, my child. The unveiling has begun. My beloved child, before we go any further, I want you to feel the truth of this. You have never taken a single step unnoticed by me. Not one sigh has escaped you without my awareness. Not one night of quiet trembling. Not one day when you held yourself together while everything inside you felt like it was unraveling. I have seen it all, not as a distant observer, but as the one who has held space for your heart to continue beating when weariness tried to quiet its rhythm. There are moments in your life when you wondered if anyone truly understood what was happening beneath the surface. You smiled while carrying weights that no one could see. You kept moving even when you felt lost. You offered kindness while struggling to find kindness for yourself. And though others may have overlooked these quiet battles, I did not. I watched you navigate them with a courage you rarely acknowledge. I watched you rise again and again, even when rising felt like breaking. You have been stronger than you realize, softer than you give yourself credit for, and more resilient than you ever intended to be. I know the questions that echo through your inner world, the ones you rarely speak aloud because you fear they might make you seem fragile or uncertain. Questions about your worth, about your future, about whether you are enough, whether you are doing enough, whether you have missed something important along the way. My child, listen closely. Nothing about you has ever been invisible to me. Your doubts do not diminish you. Your hesitation does not disappoint me. Your tender places are safe with me. I do not love you because you are flawless. I love you because you are mine, and because you keep choosing to breathe through moments that try to steal your breath. There have been seasons where loneliness wrapped around you like a heavy fog, making you question your place in this world. But even in those moments, I was near. I was the gentle tug in your chest urging you forward when everything felt stagnant. I was the quiet reassurance that whispered, "Keep going," when giving up felt easier. I was the stillness that met you when you didn't know what to pray, what to say, or what to feel. You were never abandoned. You were never wandering without purpose. You were being shaped, refined, softened, strengthened in ways you could not yet appreciate. You have carried unspoken griefs, losses that never received ceremony, disappointments you tucked away to keep functioning, dreams you mourned privately because you feared others would not understand. I have held each of these with you. I have seen the way you tried to keep moving while your heart quietly bled. I have seen the way you tried to protect others from your pain, as though your sorrow was something to hide. But my child, I have never needed you to hide from me. I have never needed you to pretend. You have always been allowed to bring the fullness of who you are, messy, uncertain, overwhelmed, hopeful. You do not need to filter yourself here. And hear this truth with a steady breath. Nothing you have walked through has been wasted. Not a single tear. Not a single delay. Not a single moment when you felt stuck between who you were and who you hoped to become. Each experience, no matter how painful or confusing, has carried the potential to deepen you, to widen your compassion, to sharpen your intuition, to expand your capacity for what is coming. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are known deeply, entirely, without condition. And everything that has shaped your inner world has positioned you to receive what I am revealing next. You stand here not by accident, but by alignment. And I am with you, ready to guide you deeper. My beloved child, you are standing in a place where the air itself feels different, where something within you senses that life is shifting in ways you cannot fully describe. This is the threshold moment, a quiet yet powerful place between what has been and what is beginning to form. You may not see all the details yet, but you can feel the pull, the subtle invitation, the quiet knowing that you cannot remain where you once stood. This moment is not accidental. It is the unfolding of a deeper rhythm inside you, one that has been preparing for far longer than you realize. So much of your journey until now has felt like waiting, wondering, or circling the same questions. But what you could not see is that each step was guiding you toward this opening. Thresholds rarely announce themselves with loud signs. They come softly, in a shift of perspective, in a stirring of courage, in the awareness that you can no longer live according to the limits that once defined you. You, my child, have reached such a point. The old ways of shrinking, doubting, hesitating, they no longer fit the person you have become. And though you may still feel fragments of fear, something deeper within you is awakening. Something steady. Something ready. This moment matters because it marks the transition from drifting into clarity. You have known seasons where you felt pulled in too many directions, unsure which voice to follow or which path to trust. You have known the heaviness of confusion, the ache of not knowing what comes next, the pressure of trying to make choices without enough light to see ahead. But now, the fog that surrounded you is beginning to thin. What once felt tangled is loosening. What once felt distant is drawing near. You are being invited to step into a new alignment that honors who you truly are, not who you had to be to survive past chapters. Thresholds are powerful because they require recognition. They ask you to pause and notice the shift instead of rushing past it. And I want you to feel this moment with intentional clarity. Feel how your heart is stretching towards something greater. Feel how your spirit is whispering yes even while your mind searches for details. Feel how the deepest parts of you are rising to meet this invitation. This is not the trembling of uncertainty, it is the trembling of becoming. You have a choice now, my child. You can turn back to the familiar patterns that kept you safe, but small, or you can step forward into the light that has been waiting for you to acknowledge it. The familiar may feel easier, but it no longer nourishes your growth. The forward path may feel unknown, but it is aligned with your expansion. I am here, not pushing you, but guiding you gently toward the path that leads to the fullness your heart has been craving. This moment asks you to trust the shift inside you, even before you see where it leads. It asks you to recognize that the stirring you feel is not random. It is not a temporary emotion. It is the internal confirmation that your story is entering a new chapter, one marked by deeper clarity, softer courage, and a more spacious sense of purpose. You are not stepping into chaos. You are stepping into alignment. You are not losing your footing. You are finding your true ground. Allow yourself to sense the difference between drifting and choosing. Drifting happens when you move without intention, when you allow life to shape you without awareness. But choosing is sacred. Choosing is powerful. Choosing marks the moment you stop waiting for permission and begin responding to the truth you feel within. This, my child, is that moment. You are being invited to cross a threshold that only opens from within. Not through force, not through striving, but through willingness. A quiet yes, a steady breath, a heart open to transformation. I am with you as you step forward. I am with you in every tremor of courage. And this moment, this threshold, is the beginning of what has long been preparing to reveal itself in your life. My beloved child, before you step more fully into what is unfolding, we must gently illuminate the barriers that have tried to cling to you, not to shame you, but to free you. These barriers are not your identity. They are not the truth of who you are. They are simply the weights that gathered along the way, some from pain, some from protection, some from misunderstanding, some from wounds you never deserve. And I want you to see them, now with clarity, so they lose their power to disguise themselves as part of your nature. There has been doubt, quiet, persistent, lingering. Doubt that asked whether you were capable of more, whether you were worthy of more, whether you were allowed to hope again after disappointments tried to train your heart into silence. Doubt told you that wanting more was dangerous, that stepping forward might lead to loss, that trusting your growth was naive. But my child, doubt is not a reflection of your truth. It is the residue of seasons where you learn to brace yourself for what might go wrong. You do not need to carry it further. There has also been fear, some of it spoken, most of it unspoken. Fear of choosing wrong. Fear of being misunderstood. Fear of being too much or not enough. Fear that if you stepped into what you truly desired, something would pull it away from you. Fear is not your enemy. It has only been a guardian trying to protect you from past pain repeating itself. But fear cannot guide you where you are going, for the path before you requires openness, not shrinking, trust, not tension. Confusion, too, has woven through your steps. You have tried to navigate choices without clear direction, feeling pulled between what your heart whispered and what your mind demanded. You questioned your instincts, second-guessed your intuition, and wondered whether you were misreading the signs of your own growth. But confusion often rises not because you lack clarity, but because you have outgrown the old guidance systems that once directed your life. You are learning to navigate from a deeper place now, and that transition can feel disorienting until you trust the new alignment forming within you. There have been voices, outer voices that planted doubt and inner voices that echoed them. People who misunderstood your heart, who underestimated your strength, who projected their own limitations onto your path. Words that made you question your timing, your dreams, your value. And then the inner echo that repeated those words long after the moment had passed. But hear me, my child, the echoes are fading. They hold no authority over what is blooming inside you now. You have also felt the weight of hesitation. That small pause before taking a step. That instinct to retreat when something felt too aligned, too vulnerable, too revealing of who you truly are. Hesitation has been your way of protecting tender places. Yet the hesitation that once served you now keeps you from rising into the fullness you are ready to embody. You are stronger than the pause that tries to hold you back. And finally, there has been the barrier of overcarrying, taking responsibility for things that were never yours to hold, trying to fix what was never yours to repair, trying to be enough for everyone while leaving yourself unattended. You learn to shoulder burdens as a way to create safety for others, but now, those burdens only create distance between you and your own becoming. You are allowed to release them. See these barriers now, not as failures, but as companions on your journey who have simply reached the end of their usefulness. They shaped you for a time, but they cannot shape you for what comes next. You are not defined by doubt. You are not imprisoned by fear. You are not lost in confusion. You are not limited by the voices of the past. You are not held back by hesitation. You are not required to carry every weight you encounter. You are stepping into clarity, and clarity requires space. You are stepping into truth, and truth requires freedom. You are stepping into alignment, and alignment requires the release of what no longer resonates with your becoming. My child, these barriers are loosening now, even as you read these words. They fall away not by force, but by recognition. And as they fall, you will feel yourself rising, lighter, clearer, more open to the revelation that awaits you. My beloved child, now that the weight around your heart has begun to loosen, you are finally able to sense what has been waiting beneath the surface of your journey. Not a reward for endurance, not a transaction for your pain, but a promise, quiet, living, patient, one that has been unfolding in the unseen long before you recognized its nearness. This promise is not a single event or outcome. It is a restoration of your inner world, a realignment of your path, a gentle yet undeniable awakening of who you are becoming. Come closer now, for I want you to feel the intimacy of this revelation. The promise I place before you is the return of peace, not the fragile peace you have tried to create on your own, but a peace that rises from a deeper place, a peace that steadies your breath and softens the tightness you have carried in your chest. It is the peace of knowing you are not walking blind, not moving alone, not reaching for something uncertain. It is the peace of clarity, the kind that removes the fog from your thoughts and allows you to see your life with new eyes. This promise is healing, not as a dramatic moment, but as a steady washing away of what once distorted your view of yourself. Healing that mends the fractures you hid beneath strength. Healing that quiets the echoes of old wounds. Healing that restores your capacity to hope without fear of disappointment. You have waited for this, even in seasons when you had no words to describe what you longed for. You have hungered for relief you believed might never come. But it is here now, because you have grown into the space where it can finally find you. I am offering you restoration, not a return to who you once were, but a becoming of who you were always meant to be. The version of you that is stronger not because of hardship, but because of alignment. The version of you whose heart is clear, whose steps are guided from within, whose voice is steady, whose presence is grounded in truth, rather than fear. Restoration is not about rebuilding the past. It is about receiving the fullness that the past prepared you to carry. There is also the promise of direction. You have walked through seasons where the path felt tangled, where you questioned your choices, where you wondered if you were wandering without aim. But clarity is rising now like a slow dawn, illuminating what once felt hidden. Answers will come with gentleness, not pressure. Alignments will unfold naturally, not forcefully. The steps before you will make sense piece by piece, not all at once, but in a way that brings comfort instead of overwhelm. You will recognize when something is meant for you, because your spirit will settle rather than strain. And precious one, hear this clearly. The promise is not that everything will instantly become easy. The promise is that you will no longer face your life fragmented. You will no longer move from fear, but from truth. You will no longer shrink from your own strength. What I am giving you is inner equilibrium, a groundedness that allows you to navigate anything with grace. The world around you may shift, but you will no longer be tossed by every change. The promise is companionship, my presence woven into your becoming, not as a voice dictating your steps, but as the steady light that keeps you from feeling lost. You are not being led into uncertainty. You are being led into deeper alignment with your own soul. Let this truth settle in you like a warm tide. Nothing is being withheld from you. Nothing good is being kept at a distance. Timing has not been a punishment. It has been preparation. You are stepping into a chapter where the inner and outer begin to reflect one another, where what you feel awakening within starts to show itself around you. This promise is for your becoming, your peace, your clarity, your restoration. Not because you earned it, but because you are ready to receive it. And I am here, unfolding it gently, at the pace your heart can hold. My beloved child, now we step into the tender center of this journey, the place where release becomes transformation, where letting go becomes receiving, where surrender is not loss, but sacred exchange. I invite you to come gently into this moment, not with pressure, not with urgency, but with the soft willingness of a heart that is tired of carrying what was never meant to be held alone. You have been strong for so long, strong in ways no one fully saw. Strong in moments when your own strength felt like it was running out. Strong even when all you wanted was a place to rest. And now, I extend my hand toward you, not to demand more of you, but to offer something your spirit has craved, the freedom to surrender what has been weighing you down. Surrender is not weakness. It is not giving up. It is the quiet decision to stop allowing burdens to define your posture. It is the moment you release the tight grip on things that exhaust you, fears that loop endlessly, guilt that clings to your steps, responsibilities you assumed without question, expectations that never belonged to you. You have been carrying these things with courage, but courage does not require you to carry them forever. Courage also means allowing yourself to set them down. So let us begin the exchange. Offer me the heaviness in your chest, the lingering tension, the hidden anxiety, the thoughts that spiral when the night grows quiet. Place them gently into my care. You do not need to fix them, analyze them, or justify them. You only need to acknowledge that they are too heavy to take into the next chapter. I receive them without judgment, without disappointment, without hesitation. Now release the guilt you have held, the guilt for not being everything to everyone, for needing rest, for setting boundaries, for changing, for healing, for choosing yourself in moments where you once would have abandoned your own needs. Guilt is not a compass, it is a chain, and it has no place in the life you are walking into. Let it go, my child. Allow yourself the grace you've so freely given to others. And the worry, the constant tension that tries to prepare you for every possible outcome, the vigilance that keeps you braced against what might go wrong. You have lived too long in survival mode, even in seasons where you deserve to feel safe. Hand me your worry. Let your shoulders loosen. Let your breath deepen. You are not betraying your responsibilities by resting. You are allowing yourself to become whole. In exchange for what you surrender, I place something new within you, not as a reward, but as a natural consequence of release. As you let go of fear, I give you steadiness, a grounded calm that does not rely on external circumstances, a quiet confidence that rises from within and holds you upright even when uncertainty appears. This steadiness does not demand perfection. It simply reminds you of who you are. As you release guilt, I give you compassion for yourself, compassion that softens the edges of your inner critic, compassion that allows you to embrace your humanness without judgment, compassion that restores your ability to move forward without self-condemnation. You deserve to walk in kindness toward your own heart. As you release worry, I give you trust, a trust that does not deny challenges, but believes in your capacity to meet them, a trust that knows timing is working in your favor, a trust that keeps you anchored when fear tries to return. Trust is the soil in which your clarity will grow. And as you surrender the burdens of overcarrying, I give you rest. Not the kind of rest that simply pauses your exhaustion, but the kind that renews you, strengthens you, clears your mind, and restores your sense of direction. You have earned this rest, not through labor, but through the bravery of letting go. This sacred exchange is not a moment. It is a shift A shift from weight to lightness, from tension to peace, from self-protection to openness. It does not require perfection, only willingness. Each breath you take in this openness creates more room for what is meant for you. You are not losing anything that belonged to you. You are releasing what was never meant to define you. And in its place, you are receiving the quiet power, clarity, and comfort that will guide you into what comes next. My beloved child, now that your heart has released what once weighed it down, you are ready to learn how to walk gently and intentionally in the world before you. This next part is not about dramatic change or sudden leaps. It is about alignment, quiet, steady alignment between your inner truth and your daily life. The shift happening within you becomes powerful when it touches how you move, how you choose, how you breathe through each day. And I am here, guiding you carefully into that alignment, not to overwhelm you, but to show you how simple and sacred each step can be. Begin by honoring your inner stillness. You have spent much of your life responding to noise, demands, expectations, fears, distractions. But now, your stillness becomes your compass. A single breath taken with awareness can redirect your entire day. Pause before reacting can save you from returning to patterns that no longer serve you. A moment of quiet can remind you of the clarity already inside you. Stillness is not laziness. It is alignment with truth. And truth always brings you back to yourself. Then consider how you steward your attention. Your attention is one of the most precious things you carry. What you focus on expands. What you repeatedly allow into your mind shapes your perception of your life. I am not asking you to avoid the world or hide from challenges. I am inviting you to stop feeding energy into what drains your spirit. Choose what nourishes you. Voices that uplift, spaces that bring calm, activities that honor your growth. Let your focus become intentional, for your focus is the doorway to clarity. And my child, protect your energy with gentleness. You have given so much of yourself, often without pausing to ask whether the giving was balanced or sustainable. Now is the time to create boundaries not as walls but as pathways. Pathways that allow you to remain open without being overwhelmed, compassionate without being depleted, connected without losing yourself. Boundaries are not selfish. They are signs that you are learning to honor the worth of your inner world. Relationships, too, will shift as you align with your truth. Some connections will deepen because your clarity will call forth the best in them. Others may fade softly as you recognize that certain dynamics were built on who you used to be, not who you are becoming. Let these shifts happen without panic. Relationships that are meant to remain will adjust gracefully. Relationships that were only meant for a chapter will complete their purpose with peace. Do not cling from fear. Hold open space for what is true. Let your daily choices reflect the gentleness you are learning to hold. Speak to yourself with kindness, even in moments of imperfection. Allow rest without guilt. Pursue what brings you genuine joy, not forced happiness, but the subtle delights that remind you you're alive. Move slowly when your spirit needs slowness. Move boldly when alignment gives you confidence. Do not measure your progress by productivity. Measure it by peace, by authenticity, by how fully you feel connected to your own heart. And remember this, alignment does not mean you will never face challenges. It means you will face them differently, with steadiness instead of panic, with clarity instead of confusion, with intention instead of reactive fear. You will notice that your responses become softer, your decisions become clearer, and your sense of direction becomes more intuitive. This is not accidental. It is the natural outflow of the inner transformation you have allowed. You may find that simple rituals anchor you, pausing at the beginning of your day to breathe, closing your eyes before a decision, stepping outside for a moment to reconnect with yourself, offering gratitude not as obligation, but as acknowledgement of the unfolding within you. These small acts are not insignificant. They are threads that weave your inner peace into your outer life. My child, alignment is not a destination. It is a way of moving, a way of listening, a way of honoring what is true inside you. And as you practice this way of living, you will find that the world around you begins to shift to meet the new version of you. Gently, faithfully, beautifully. Every step becomes a collaboration between your spirit and your life. Every moment becomes an opportunity to return to yourself. You are learning to live with intention, with clarity, with peace as your guide. And this alignment will prepare you for the choice you are about to make, the choice that will shape the rest of your journey. My beloved child, we have arrived at the moment where everything within you begins to converge. The clarity, the release, the healing, the alignment. This is the place where your heart is invited to choose, not with pressure or fear, but with the gentle authority of someone who finally recognizes their own becoming. Every revelation brought you to this moment. Every quiet shift prepared you. Every breath you took in trust has opened this doorway before you. This choice is not about perfection. It is not about proving anything. It is simply the choice to stand in the light of who you truly are rather than shrinking into who you once had to be. It is the choice to step into alignment instead of returning to the way of old patterns. It is the choice to allow the peace within you to become your new normal. It is the choice to say yes, not to an outcome, but to your own unfolding. I invite you now to gently acknowledge what your spirit already knows. You are ready. You are ready to walk with intention. Ready to trust the quiet voice inside you. Ready to release the last remnants of fear that try to whisper that you are unprepared. Ready to move forward in the softness you have reclaimed. Ready to embrace the clarity that has been rising in you like dawn. The choice before you is simply this. Will you continue to drift through life half present, half trusting, half hoping? Or will you step into the fullness of your yes, the yes that aligns your heart, your breath, your thoughts, your choices with the truth you now carry? I am not asking you to leap blindly. I am inviting you to walk with awareness, to move with intention, to let your inner peace guide your next steps instead of anxiety. To trust that the readiness you feel is not imagined. It is the culmination of everything you have grown through. This is where spoken declarations become powerful. Not as formulas, but as anchors. Words are seeds. When spoken with intention, they take root in the unseen parts of your heart and begin shaping your reality from within. These declarations are not demands. They are acknowledgments of who you are becoming. Speak them softly if you choose. Speak them within your own mind. Speak them in a whisper or in stillness. What matters is the resonance, not the volume. Let your heart settle as you receive these declarations, for they are meant to strengthen your choice. I choose to trust the light within me. I choose to walk forward with clarity, even when I cannot see every step. I release the fears that once protected me but no longer define me. I honor my growth, my healing, and my becoming. I allow peace to guide my thoughts, my actions, and my responses. I welcome alignment in every part of my life. I am worthy of the clarity rising within me. I step through the doorway that has opened before me. I choose to live from truth, not from fear. I am ready for the new chapter unfolding in my life. Let these declarations settle into your heart like warm light. They are not fantasies. They are reflections of the truth already forming within you. Each one is a step forward. Each one is a gentle affirmation of the path you are choosing. And as you make this choice, know this: you are not stepping alone. I am with you in your yes. I am with you in your becoming. I am with you in the softness of your courage. You are moving into a chapter that requires presence, not perfection, willingness, not certainty. And you are ready, more ready than you have ever been, to embody the clarity that has awakened within you. So breathe deeply now. Feel the shift within you. Feel the grounding beneath your feet. Feel the quiet strength you carry. Strength born not from force, but from healing. This choice is your turning point. Your declaration. Your alignment with the truth you have long sensed but only now fully embrace. My child, step forward with your whole heart. Your yes is powerful. Your yes is sacred. Your yes is the beginning of everything that is meant to unfold next. My beloved child, let your breath settle now, for you have walked through a deep unfolding, one layer at a time, and your heart has received more than you may yet realize. This is the quiet place where everything we have journeyed through gathers into a gentle seal, soft, steady, and unmistakably yours. Nothing in you is the same as when you began. Something has opened. Something has lifted. Something has aligned. Rest here with me for a moment. Feel how your spirit no longer strains the way it once did. Feel how your thoughts move with more spaciousness. Feel how your heart holds a peace that does not ask for permission to stay. You have stepped through an inner threshold that was waiting for you, and now the path ahead glows with a faint but certain light of new beginnings. I place my blessing upon you, not as a reward, but as a confirmation. You have listened with courage. You have released with honesty. You have chosen with intention. And now the truth within you has room to breathe, to unfold, to guide you with a quiet steadiness that will remain even in uncertain moments. Carry this message as a living reminder. God says, I hope you're ready for this. This has never been revealed before. Let these words echo not as pressure, but as promise. You are stepping into a chapter shaped by readiness, clarity, and truth, and nothing that awaits you is beyond your capacity to hold. Walk forward gently, my child. Walk forward with trust. Walk forward knowing I am with you in every breath, every choice, every unfolding. This seal rests upon you now, and it will not lift. You are ready.